lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Every single one. He's got one more in front of him here to try to get it done. The pace car is going to make that hard left turn. We are ready to roll here at Bristol. The green flag is in the air, and we are rolling. Side by side for the race lead out of these guys as they dive it down into turn number 1. Yeah, the outside seems to be where you want to be to start this race, but that 81 is staying strong to his commitment to the bottom side. We'll see if he changes it up. No, he doesn't. So we've got a lot of battles a little bit further back. There's Lyle Swearingen getting passed on the outside by the number 29 of Dan Brazington. Chad Simpson making the pass up there as well. Yeah, they keep on battling that 0-5 all over the back bumper of the 155 just in front of him. It's Michael Milfeld Jr. trying to keep Stearns behind him, and Stearns is going to be able to make that pass on Dennis Fusen. Maybe not coming up off of the corner. That outside momentum is going to put the 05 up in front, but he's not clear by any stretch of the means. Little bit of a moment there for Jeff Schmeier coming up out of turn number 4. He's going to lose a couple of spots, but able to get it back in 17th. Recover, moves back up to the top of the racetrack, and now he sets his sights on the battle in front of him as there's a little bit of contact that sends Cody Matthews down the racetrack. He was racing there with the 19 of Justin Wilkinson. JTW up there trying to get a couple extra spots as now he dives down to the bottom of the 17 machine. Season 50 obviously going to be a sight to be seen for these drivers and for all of you fans who are able to tune into this fantastic Western States Racing League. You see just how fast these guys are rolling coming up off of these corners. But incredible job these guys are doing as you see a moment there. Julian Ritchie down to the inside of the 155 of Michael Milfeld Jr. He's able to put himself up into 8th place with that pass. And sideways goes your pole sitter, Andrew Schulte, who is going absolutely nowhere in a hurry. Yeah, so far, he's able to... Well, he's stuck with the bottom since the start of this race, and you got to wonder, Mac, is that potentially a tire-saving situation? Be interesting to see here on the short track in Bristol. We expect at least one pit stop for fuel, but these drivers have 4 sets of tires in the pits. While we have a moment, let's just take a second to... actually, Earl Weaver has had an incident. The caution has come out here for the first time today. And he's around again, and there's contact as everybody's trying to get checked up for the yellow. Oh, the 29 dives it in there. He's going to get it. Oh, and around goes the 07 trying to get it back going on the banking. What a chaotic first caution here in Bristol. Take a look to see what happened to Earl Weaver. He was the first car around. Looks like contact from the 10 gets him turned backwards. Hard into the inside wall. Now let's try to look up in front to see where all of this situation occurs. Oh, it's up in front of this. The 10 gets sideways. Bring it back a little bit further. From the same angle, we'll see the contact, but we'll follow along with the 10 machine of Cody Matthews. Oh, the 53 comes up the racetrack, and the 3 with some heavy damage there as well. See Carl Burke comes back up the racetrack. Just nothing he can do on the flat part. Well, the lights are still on the pace car. We'll take a moment to see if they're going to pop off this time around. It looks like they're going to stay on, so I'll do what I wanted to just a few moments ago before that caution came out. This logo on the front of this car is a dedication to a dear friend of ours here at Sim Racing Media that we lost a few months ago, and he really was the backbone of this company, and you know, Tony did a lot for us. He was one of the best guys that we could have ever asked for in the booth, and it is super cool for Lyle to be running his logo here on the front, and we're happy to see that. We appreciate Tony, we miss Tony, and it's not going to be a day that we don't. As we move forward, though, the lights go out on the iRacing sedan pace car. We're getting ready to double it up once again here at Bristol. 22 laps are complete. Kind of a long green flag run to start this race, Mac. In comparison, at least. Yeah, absolutely. These guys they put on a show from the start, going 20-some laps without a caution, like you said, compared to official races I've been in here at Bristol. This is clean as a whistle. I don't know what gets cleaner than a whistle, maybe a Marine's bedroom, but these guys are absolutely running strong here, running super clean, and we've had some pretty spectacular battles throughout the course of this race. These guys are incredible drivers, and the fact that they can run around a track that makes it seem like you're jet fighters in a gymnasium without causing too many collisions is pretty spectacular. One thing I would like to bring up, though, Andrew Schulte is moving his line up just a little bit. We're not seeing him run that next to the banking, next to the apron line. He's kind of taken more of a middle line, and it's been a bit more successful for him. Absolutely does. We'll keep an eye on that as we've got a battle for the race lead right now. Butch Davis looking to the inside of Ryan Steele in the 12. Going to be the first driver to challenge him all day so far. Not able to get there. The 12 clears himself once again, and now Butch Davis has to get back in line and try to find another way around. Cuts it down to the inside. Yeah, and, this is not an easy track to be able to stay at the back throughout most of this race. It's so tough to pass here. We see just how much trouble Butch Davis had tried to take the lead here. It takes a lap or two to set up a pass, and then it can even take a couple more laps after that to make the pass, provided you even make it. And so, with that being said, it's a lot tougher to hold on to track position, to maintain, or I said that backwards. It's easier to maintain the track position than it is to go up there and fight for it. And that's what we're seeing out of Ryan Steele here tonight. He's up front. He's keeping on this track position game, holding on to the race lead. He doesn't want to look back. Now second place is up in the air as the 42 of Chad Simpson tries to work up to the top of the 43 of Butch Davis. Davis now seeing that, having none of it, moves up to the top side and tries to hold on to that second place. Look at the Lowe's machine in the 95, Charlie Widener getting himself up there. Things starting to heat up front though. Battle for the race lead. Butch Davis looked down to the bottom coming up off of 2, and now these guys catching up on lap traffic. Look at the run that the 43 is able to pull coming up off of the corner. Kind of on that middle to bottom lane. It seems like if he can hit the middle and cut it down, he can stay with the momentum up on the top side. But Ryan Steele is just working that top end so well through turns 3 and 4. Not much that the 43 can do. And now he's got a host of cars all up on his rear bumper. Look at this wide angle shot of all of these cars. You've got lap cars up at the front, starting with the silver car moving forward. The race leader in the center of your screen, now moving up top and almost contact with the lap machine. The 13 of James Campbell. Oh, Charlie gets down to the middle. He's going to hopefully be followed by the 68 machine down to, looks like the 17 tried to get down, or the 77 rather, tried to get down to the inside. Now he gets down there once again. That machine is thoroughly towards the back of the pack, but we've got a new race leader right now. It's Chad Simpson. And look at who's in second place, Andrew Schulte. The 11 jumping around a bunch there, but Dennis Fusen had a huge slide on the front stretch, almost gets into the 1 of Julian Ritchie. They get forward okay. One of my favorite things about Bristol is how close these guys get to the wall. And we'll see if I've got it set up right. Oh, that's not the one. Either way, this is a really cool look at Chad Simpson. As now he's got Andrew Schulte down to his inside, racing for the lead. Down at his door, trying to work the inside lane a little bit better. Touched the bumper a little bit there. No harm, no foul. The 0-4 with a bit of a slide just in front of these guys. That's Dustin Burns. Where does he go? All the way up to the top. More lap traffic. Already 25% of the way through this race. I tell you what, it's taken us a while with all the fantastic action we've seen throughout the course of the race. Let's go ahead and show you where your favorite drivers are running on the top of the screen and just how far off of the race leader that they are. 55 laps going to be complete this time around, and the battle for the race lead is only getting more intense. Oh, the caution is out once again. Butch Davis. It's a round down the front straightaway. Oh, and he gets hit at the end by Weaver. Try to see what happened here to the 43. Coming off of turn number 4. Oh, wow. Yeah, just a bump and overcorrection hard into the outside wall, and heavy damage for the 99 as well. That's Barry Phil. Like Schulte gets off first in front of the 42. Meanwhile, Ryan Patty seems to have stayed out. He came in under the first yellow flag. Wayne Fleet in the 6 machine. Not yet made a pit stop today. Trying to go worst to first. Well, maybe he's coming in this time. Well, Ryan Patty stays out after pitting on lap number 20. That's the key word for now. You've got Andrew Schulte right behind him with almost 40 lap fresher tires. Not totally sure that these guys can make it to the end on fuel, but they've got to be anticipating at least one more caution throughout the course of this race. God, especially with this group, we could lean towards the lesser side. I mean, 60 laps into this thing, we've only seen 2 cautions. These guys have been exceptionally clean throughout the course of the night. Yeah, with no end in sight. Caution has come out. Lyle Swearingen is slow on the racetrack with some right side damage, and it looks like he's not the only one. David Weaver coming into the pits as well. Might have started with Barry Phil. Yeah, he gets turned up into the outside wall, turned around. Lyle had nothing to do with that at all. He was just slow on the inside, potentially trying to avoid it. '99 just came up the racetrack trying to give the 04 some room. Wasn't quite enough racetrack though with the car up top. Ryan Patty holds out of the race lead. Andrew Schulte in second place. Not a lot of time to heat those tires up, but Mac, that's one heat cycle, right? That's going to be tough. You might need a lot of help, but there is the saving grace of... These guys might not be able to make it on fuel here. I think between 125 and 150. It might be able to make it to the end, but... Yeah, he's looking up to the top side, trying to work up that momentum. Has the run, about a half a car length now entering turns 1 and 2. You see the slow car of the 99 down on the inside, gets up out of the way, but we've got a battle for the race lead. Schulte to the outside and makes it look easy, just like you said, Mac. Just about. These guys are absolutely all over each other right now, trying to get around Ryan Patty, trying to figure out who's going to be able to get that momentum, but the inside lane is not doing what the 95 wants it to. Charlie Widener having a little bit of trouble getting around that number 30. Take a look to see what happened to the 19. Gets sideways coming up off of the corner. Overcorrects it. Slides it back up onto the racetrack. Very tough spot for a car to be in. Got to bring the caution out there. Yeah, very unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and step away for just a moment. We'll be right back with some more incredible racing action. All right, coming back live here. We apologize for the audio difficulties we've had, but we should have it all sorted out as the green flag is back out. Schulte takes the lead by about a car length, getting down into turn number 1.
Yeah, now with no contest for the lead here, Andrew Schulte might be able to stretch his legs and really get to putting down some fast laps.
So far looking good, but here comes the 95, Charlie Widener in second place now. He's got a strong run coming up on the top side, trying to close down the gap as the 81 continues to roll the bottom side like we saw him do to start this race.
Yeah, and do not be surprised if we see Andrew Schulte and Charlie Widener, along with Michael Milfeld Jr., the top 3. They're all teammates, so maybe they link up and try to get away from this lead pack.
Maybe as the 95 is into the race lead. 81 up to the top of the racetrack once again. ourselves a new race leader, and the caution flag is out once again. Julian Ritchie has now got around.
Very unlucky for Julian Ritchie there.
Very similar to what we saw with the 19. Almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, very unfortunate. He just got a little squirmy coming out of the corner and wasn't able to really get it going back straight again.
On a tough break, a tough way to have that go down for him, but he's going to be able to keep going. Didn't hit anything. No major damage to the race car. We've got...
yeah, which is a major plus at Bristol, because you really don't want to use your quick repair early, because there can always be that big one towards the end of the race there that you really need your fast repair for.
Yeah, these guys obviously, they get one fast repair for this weekend. That's it. That's it seems like a small amount for a track like Bristol, but with the racing that we've seen so far, it's been super clean. Maybe a little bit of contact, a couple of single car mistakes, but when those single car mistakes happen, there's no major contact. We're able to just get right back going. Charlie Widener leads the race over Andrew Schulte, Michael Milfett, Chad Simpson, and Ryan Patty rounding out the top 5. Then we've got Chris Samard, Ryan Barnes, and Bob Beltrami, Don Brasington, and Jeff Schmeier rounding out your top 10.
And Jeff Schmeier, someone who has had a run of bad luck here. Ever since his P2 finish a couple of weeks ago, I cannot remember for the life of me what track it was at, but he got the P2 around 4 or 5 rounds ago, and unfortunately just has not been able to really capitalize on that or keep the positive momentum going.
It's always tough when you have a good run and the next week it goes bad. You just can't, like you said, keep that positive momentum going. But Jeff Schmeier's in a good spot to get this week rolling right and move on into some proper momentum. Sitting in 10th place right now, he's up 9 spots from where he started. It's not going to be an easy day for Jeff here, but tell you what, he's already accomplished a lot. He's going to be hoping to accomplish more.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about someone who was in the final fight at the last race of the season last season in season number 48. It was between him, Jeff Hollingsworth, and Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele going on to win the championship, but Jeff Schmeier, being a championship contender, knows exactly how all of these races need to be ran.
You got Jeff Schmeier. He's up in 10th place in the championship, 131 points out. 5 races to go, and there are 4 drop weeks to account for. So you want to get every point that you possibly can. Try to limit the bad weeks that you can to what you've already had. Getting ready for the restart once again. Gonna ride on board with Charlie Widener as he gets on the gas. Green flag is out. He's already got himself a car length over Schulte. Schulte stuck up on the outside for this corner. He's got the 155 looking low. That's Michael Milfett. Milfelt, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Michael Milfeld just looking to file in behind. Got to assume that Charlie Widener, Schulte, and Michael Milfeld are all coordinating this. They're all calming to each other what exactly they're going to be doing as this race progresses. And will we see the teammates on the podium again for the second week in a row? I teased at it last week during the interview with Charlie Widener, or sorry, it was Andrew Schulte, and he said that they were ready. He said they were ready to get it done here at Bristol, and they are showing us.
Well, they definitely look ready. Charlie Widener and Andrew Schulte running 1-2 respectively. Michael Milfeld, though, trying to change that, getting right up to the rear bumper of that 81 right in front of him. As we look back further, Ryan Patty continuing to fall back. Here comes the 21 machine for 7th place. Now almost looking 3 wide down to the inside goes the 4 of Brian Barnes. thinks a little bit better of it. Oh, and coming up the racetrack is the 30. Pinches the 17 of Wayne Hutchison into the wall. Everybody continues, but what a moment there coming up off as the 30 continues to struggle on these older tires.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ryan Patty, he is just an obstacle in a lot of these drivers' way right now. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure what his strategy is right now. You've just got to try to survive.
Well, you've either got to try to hold on to track position, hope that you come out positive after everybody else pits again, or you've got to hope that you pit and nobody else does, and this tire advantage is going to be what gets the job done for you. There is not a whole lot of middle ground in between that for the 30 to rely on. You see the 19 of JTW scraping the wall there. He's back up to 9th place after that spin.
Yeah, good on JTW. Unfortunately for him, the championship is probably out of his reach standing. He is in P11. He has gotten 4 top 5s on the season, though, so when he comes back for next season, he knows that he can compete. He's just got to be consistent for the entire calendar.
Well, I tell you what, he's consistently scraping that wall in turns 1 and 2, but it's not hurting him. Trying to get up to the top side of Bob Beltrami here, coming up off of turn number 4, but Beltrami gets up in front of the 17. Now here comes the 30 back down to the bottom side.
Yeah, Ryan Patty, you have to think at some point there will be a fall off where Ryan Patty will not be as slow as everyone else. He's still going to be slower, but it's not going to be at such a big differential. And he is just hoping for that to come very soon, because he is being pounced on, I guess is the word, by the 29 of Dan Brazington.
A little bit of contact. The 4 goes low. Brian Barnes, is he going to be able to keep it straight? Yes, he does now. The 0-5 looks down to his inside. They're 3 wide entering turn 3.
Yeah, Dennis Fuson on the high side. Chad Stearns to his inside, but he's going to squeak out of that.
Yeah,
well done by
out.
Brian Barnes.
Oh, wow. Look at Butch Davis through the middle of that. Gets around Steele. Of course, remember we saw Steele leading a bunch of laps early on in the race. Butch Davis. You know, obviously we saw him get involved in the crash early on. Heavy contact to the outside wall. He's going to have a little bit fresher tires. He's multiple laps down. He's got a quick car, and that was a heck of a move.
And he's going to slot in behind his FBR teammate Dan Brazington there. Maybe they can link up and get some positions.
Jump around a little bit, try to find the best battle going on right now. We see Charlie Widener as Bob Beltrami all over his rear bumper. Caution has come out once again for Chad Stearns this time. Gonna find a good time to get down to the bottom, but it doesn't seem like there's gonna be one. He goes right behind the leader and stops in the middle of the racetrack.
Not the ideal situation there for Chad Stearns.
Oh, let's see what happened to bring out this caution flag. Oh, and he gets it, turns the 30 car around. Guess what? Everybody's pitting.
Yeah, it seems like probably the right thing to do, and if we can stay green, maybe this is the money stop. I'm not entirely sure.
It could be. These guys are using their second set of tires, most of them, but they've got 2 left in the pits. So if the caution comes out late and you feel like you need tires, you've got them. But the question's going to be how many cars are on the lead lap? How much traffic do you want to fight through?
Yeah, fighting through traffic is going to cost you a lot of time here, especially at Bristol, because it's just so... I don't really know the word for it exactly. It's just so abundant. The back markers, it just seems like you're always behind one. You're always in front of one. You're always beside one. It's just a mess.
Yeah, it definitely can be. And if we were to restart single file, we've done that a time or two because of quick cautions, but if we were to restart single file, the driver in last place would be restarting half a lap down from where the race leader is at that point. So you're already at an incredible disadvantage if you're at the back of the field. It's going to be a tough call when we get towards the end of the race. You won't have to be behind lap cars, ideally, but...
Yeah, and starting half of the track back from the leader is absolute insanity.
Yeah, we've already got less than 100 laps to go. 92 as they cross the stripe this next time. Current race leader is the 77 of Chris Simard. See the 3 and the 6 just in front of him, Weaver and Fleet, waiting on the wave around. Both of them multiple laps down.
And Chris Simard, at one point, was looking like he was not going to be able to complete the season. I'm not sure what type of surgery he had, but the surgery required him to stay off of the sim for, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks there. So only 13 of the 16 races completed, but if he can keep a perfect attendance through the last stretch of the season here, he might get the full 16 out of 16 counted races.
He's got a shot. Call me Jim Carrey, because you're saying there's a chance. We've got ourselves a fun little restart here with 91 to go, just past halfway. Got a little bit of flurry of single car incidents here. But these drivers know what Bristol entails, and the green flag is back in the air. Chris Simard holds out of the race lead over Michael Milfelt Jr. and Andrew Schulte back down to the inside, where he's been almost the entire race.
Yeah, the 3 teammates of Andrew Schulte, Michael Milfelt, and Charlie Widener, are a little split up. They've got Chad Simpson and Jeff Schmeier in between them. And you know that they are going to try to prevent these 3 from linking up at all costs.
Out once again. Darrell Scott looks to be potentially out of this race. A tight 3 wide. That's not what does it, though. 68 gets into him, turns it backwards. Oh, and a hefty hit there from 99 of Barry Phil.
So a fair amount of caution. Yeah. I was going to say, fair amount of cautions. We're about 6% through the race here. And more cautions than most races have in their entire span here in the WSRL. I believe our top caution race this season was 14 at New Hampshire. If I'm not mistaken, I was absent from that race, but Mike was recapping it to me. And I think that might have been it.
Totally sure what number we're at here tonight, but I'm not sure we'll get to 14. Though it does look like there's a bit of right side damage here to Chris Simard.
It was October 17th at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There were 4 lead changes in the entire race. There were 18 cautions. 62 of the 129 laps were under yellow. Ross Rawlings, who is not here tonight, took that victory.
It does stink to go through races like that, but sometimes they come. I mean, we've talked about our races in official races, and obviously that's a little bit different from a league where people kind of know each other, you know, stuff like that. But when you get to a tough racetrack and a tough setup combination, it can come anywhere, you know, whether it's an awkward track temperature. But if it doesn't hit, sometimes it just doesn't hit, and everybody's just trying to hold on.
And I've noticed that a lot in the Xfinity fixed setup series
Yep.
that iRacing provides, the Class B Oval Series. It seems like those fixed setups are never in tune with what the weather or the track is transmitting to us. And it just seems to always be a nightmare trying to drive those cars in the fixed series.
I'm glad you picked up what I was laying down there with the, with the setup combination stuff there. That's pretty much it. You're either tighter than pants that are 5 sizes too small, or looser than pants that are 10 sizes too big. It's no in between.
Yeah, exactly right. You are exactly right.
Well, we've got ourselves a restart here, doubled up once again. Chris Simard holds on to the race lead. Andrew Schulte to his outside. Schulte we've seen rocking the inside plenty, and Michael Milfeld has Chad Simpson to his outside. Jeff Schmeier rounds out your top 5. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn once again. Lap 116 about to be completed. 84 to go as they take the green flag once again. Chris Simard with a 1 car length lead over Andrew Schulte, and they are side by side for third. Just about, not quite. Schulte to the bottom. Milfeld to the top. Widener to the bottom. Now he's got the 42. Chad Simpson rocking the outside.
Yeah, and Charlie Widener making quick work of those 2 cars that were in between him and his teammates, as Chad Simpson, unfortunately, I don't think is going to have the pace to actually take this position whole from Charlie Widener. However, I am currently eating my words as I say them.
And that bottom lane not as strong as they want it to be right now. And we might be late enough in the race where the top side is truly rubbered in. I know we see a little bit of darkness up on the top side, but when this race starts, the bottom groove is where you want to be. It's going to use less tires. It's going to be a little bit slower to start, but you're going to use up less tires. As those guys move up to the top, start wearing down their stuff, and start rubbering up that outside lane, that's going to start to negate the difference that you're going to make on the inside. You're still going to save a little bit more tire, but those guys are going to be so much faster. So you see now that 95 moves up to the top side to try to roll with this momentum. It's kind of the reverse of what we're used to seeing at Bristol. You used to say you get knocked up out of the way, you're going to get freight trained. Now, if you get stuck to the inside, that's where you get freight trained.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and it's almost like you're taking Daytona or Talladega and you're shrinking it down into a half-mile track. It just seems like the one line is going to be the stronger one, and if you get knocked out of that one line, it's like a conveyor belt. You go to the back and you wait your turn for somebody else to slip up and take the wrong line so everybody can move up a spot.
That's actually a really good analogy, the more I think about it. How many times have we seen guys chewing up on the top of a Daytona race? You get one guy try to slide it down to the bottom, maybe makes up some ground, but all of a sudden he's stuck down there. Nobody lets him in, and now he's losing positions. We're going to see a lot of that here at Bristol, especially as this run goes on. We've moved on into a medium-sized green flag run. We've gone over 10 laps since the last restart. So these guys are going to start to feel the heat effects on their tires and what these cars are capable of.
Yeah, if we could stay green until about lap 145 or lap 150, that's when we will see the alternate strategies coming out. Will some of these people pit? Will they try to take it all the way? I truly don't know, as we are getting wormy here with Chris Simard.
Yeah, a little bit sideways is the Coors Light number 13 on the inside. That's James Campbell staying out of the way of your race leaders, but once again, lap traffic right in front of the driver in first place. We talked about it last time, just how far back these lap cars are when they start on a restart. Now they're dicing through. Here comes Schulte to the bottom, and the 6 is up top. Gonna cut off the 77. Hard into the inside wall goes the 13. We're going to stay green for now.
Yeah, green for now is very important. The 13 has almost slowed down
Can he get down to the bottom without a caution?
speed.
Caution's going to come out. So we've got a couple things to work through there.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Andrew Schulte and Chris Simard.
Let's first try to back it up just a bit if we can.
Yeah, what I think happened was the 13 of James Campbell got a little scared when Chris Simard kind of tapped the back marker of Wayne Fleet there. He thought something was going to happen. He kind of darted his wheel, and unfortunately spelled disaster for him.
See the pass to the lead happening just in front of us here. Yeah, 13 gets loose, smacks the inside wall, has no turn, and the 42, Chad Simpson, has nowhere to go but right into the back, and that's hefty damage for the 42. If he hasn't used his fast repair yet, he is going to right now. But let's go ahead and take a look at this pass for the race lead. Schulte doesn't really, let's try to find a good angle here. Schulte doesn't really have the angle getting into the corner here, but he cuts down to the bottom when the 77 has to run middle. So he's already got a line advantage there. Able to work that middle and roll through well, and once the time comes to get back onto the gas, the 77 has a windshield full of 6 car. Just can't get to it. Bumps him.
But we hear it all the time. You know, when you're in that second position and you're trying to overtake the leader and lap cars are the issue at hand, you almost want to use them like a basketball pick, you know, like a screen and roll type situation. You want to make sure that you are on the line that is not inhabited by the back marker, so the leader has to get up and, you know, overtake on the outside or make it just exponentially more difficult as the race goes on, and Andrew Schulte did that to perfection.
Yeah, that's about the best way you could set a pick and have it work for you. It's a great pass there by Andrew Schulte. Chris Simard still strong here. He's going to be looking to try to take that race lead back, but I believe the lights have gone off on the iRacing pace car. It's actually a Ford Mustang this time around. Going to have 64 laps to go as we take the green flag once again.
And the manufacturer war here, as we go green, Andrew Schulte is going to have the button. I will let them take off. A good start for Andrew Schulte, as teammate Michael Milfeld is going to slide in behind him, almost kind of bully Chris Simard off of that optimal line. But if we look through the top 5, all 3 manufacturers are featured. However, there are only 5 Toyotas in this race, and that was something you would not have expected at the start of the season. It was a Toyota-ran grid.
Yeah, a couple of Toyotas having trouble so far. James Campbell and Scott Kukas having a little bit of trouble earlier on in the race, but the other 3 Toyotas are in the top 6, so that's got to be good for the brand representation there, having half of the top 6. With your emblem on the front end of it, especially with the top 2 being the race leaders. Andrew Schulte leads over Michael Milfeld Jr. by about half a second. Back behind that, it is calamity as Chris Simard is trying to keep Charlie Widner behind him, along with the 21 of Jeff Schmeier.
Yeah, Charlie Widener doing his best job to try to get linked back up with his teammates. It's been a spinning record. I've been saying it time after time all night, but it's the main storyline heading into this race. As Ryan Patty, unfortunately, is down on the apron. He's going to keep it clean, though, for the meantime.
Yeah, a little bit of contact down the back straightaway there with the 17 machine. Got him sideways down the back, trying real hard to hold on to this top 10 spot. Use those fresher tires. He's going to pull off the slide job here, though, getting off of turn number 4. Put that number 30 into 7th place. Up 17 spots from where he started, past the 17.
A lot of 17 there in that little exchange.
You can see why I got my tongue tied.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of side-by-side here, though, as Widener has not let off trying to make the pass on the number 77 machine.
And Chris Samard.
Into the wall goes Samard.
Into the wall.
Into the back bumper of the 95 goes Samard, but that's going to be a pass made for Charlie Widener. Put him up into 3rd place, as now you see Schmeier trying to get down to the inside.
Yeah, and I was just about to comment on how clean and precise Samard has been all night. Commentator's curse, you can call it, as he made a mistake right as I was about to utter it out.
Widener is taking 3rd place away, trying to figure out a way around Michael Milfelt. You see that number 21 machine trying to take away 4th. He's got a strong run up on the inside. We've talked about him a lot today so far. Last time he was in 10th, and up into the wall once again goes the 77. 21 decides not to jump up and clear him. He's going to be hoping for another mistake like that to complete this pass.
Yeah, and Ryan Patty kind of scouting out his moves, sizing up Jeff Schmeier, as it looks like he might be trying for it here in this corner.
Oh, he gets into the back of Schmeier, and that might have helped Schmeier get through the corner a little bit. Kind of turned him through the center. 30 is going through the middle. Looking in the middle. He has nothing doing right now as the caution has come out once again. This time, I believe it's Bob Beltrami. Oh, contact in front of the 14.
Unfortunate for all parties involved. Very unfortunate for the Beltrami salami machine, as he wasn't even involved. He was just collected. An unforgiving angle there.
Oh, and that's kind of that big one that you mentioned, those multi-car pileups that Bristol is famous for. Everything with the speeds that these guys run, it funnels up to the top before it can come down, and it just makes it so much tougher to avoid a crash. Not only because you don't know where it's going to go, but because the crash at that speed moves up, so does your car without, when you get on the brakes.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and it unfortunately just spelled disaster for about 4 or 5 cars there.
Gonna go ahead and take a very quick break while the caution sorts itself out. We'll be right back for the restart.
Yeah, Ryan Patty, you talk about adversity. This guy is having to fight off a grid full of fresher tires behind him twice. Not just once, he's got to do it twice in one night. Andrew Schulte is on a mission tonight. He is trying to stretch this lead in the championship as far as he can. Yeah, Andrew Schulte is more than likely going to make quick work of Ryan Patty here as we are yellow. Not exactly what you'd like to see. You know, it's tough to say. You know, if you're in the point of view of Ryan Patty, you've got to know that there's no way you're fending off all of these drivers for 34, 33 laps, whatever it ends up being. There's just really no way it's going to happen. But what you can do is you can try to minimize the bleeding. You know, make every single overtake that somebody tries on you the hardest overtake that they've ever tried in their career of racing. And you've just got to hope. You've just got to hope that you can get yellow after yellow and keep your spot as high as possible. Whereas for Andrew Schulte, he's thinking that he has to get this overtake done fast because he has got a hungry JTW and a very good Charlie Widener and Michael Milfelt behind him, that if he cannot get past Ryan Patty efficiently and quickly, they're going to be right up there to strike.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be tough for Ryan Patty to try to hold these guys back, but Andrew Schulte can't make quick work of him. He does have a hungry group of cars right behind him, ready to take advantage of that. Schulte moves up to the outside. We're doubling up, getting ready for the restart here. It will be 33 laps to go as they take the green flag.
Yeah, Ryan Patty is going to have a very, very uncomfortable finish to this race.
And I've been saying 91 for Andrew Schulte. He's actually the 81, so apologies for that. 81 machine up on the top side. Go ahead.
Ryan Patty is going to have the button. He is going to creep it down until about halfway through the Geico restart zone. He is going to get a good start as he goes down into turn 1 and 2. He's going to pick the high side. JTW with an outstanding launch on Andrew Schulte, but unfortunately the momentum of Andrew Schulte is going to be too much. Charlie Widener trying to pull off a switchback on JTW, and he is going to get that move done and secured.
Patty
But
trying
Ryan
to hold
Patty-
the bottom up in front of Schulte, but not able to hold it quite well enough. Charlie Widener right behind, hoping to use his topside momentum while he sees his main rival on fresh tires, utilizing that bottom side, having to check up a lot more coming up off of the corner and not able to make that pass for the lead. Look at how close third place is now to the race for the lead.
Yeah, Charlie
Oh, and
Widener
around
and-
goes the one car down the back straightaway. That's Julian Ritchie. He's going to keep it straight. Andrew Schulte to the race lead. Right in front of Ryan Patty. Caution comes out.
And Andrew Schulte, if I'm not mistaken, is going to get to keep that position.
Yes, sir. You are correct.
So that is a big relief for Andrew Schulte.
Little contact from the 62, sending Butch Davis round the 07. Nowhere to go but to the inside. Keith Kelman with some contact as well. JTW comes into the pits along with the 42. Take another look at what happened to the one machine if possible. It's already going on at that point. We'll break the fourth wall again and back it up. Little bit of contact there from the 29. Just a slight bump coming up off of the corner. Have to send the one car sideways, but keeps it straight before getting on the racetrack.
And now for Ryan Patty, unfortunately, he is dropping these positions very quickly. He is pitting, but I would have thought with his strategy, how he kind of formulated everything, I thought he was just going to stay out.
I suppose it's tough with these restarts as they keep on coming, and we've seen how drivers have fallen, and Patty knows, I suppose, better than anyone else here with the earlier strategy he played, staying out on older tires. He got swallowed up by the pack, and once he lost the lead, he was kind of a sitting duck. So I wonder if he's hoping that he can gain more in these last 25 or so laps that he, versus what he would have lost staying out on older tires.
Yeah, he has had tremendous pace all night, so I would not be surprised if he does get to climb that standings board.
$25 laps remain at the moment. 24 as they cross the line. Right now, your race leader is number 81, Andrew Schulte. Charlie Widener, Michael Milfeld Jr., Jeff Schmeier, Dan Brazington, Chris Samard, Ryan Steele, Brian Barnes, Dennis Fusen, Chad Stearns rounding out your top 10. JTW just came into pit, along with Julian Ritchie, who we saw make some wall contact, and Ryan Patty stayed out. I made the pit stop. Chad Simpson back on the lead lap, along with Lyle Swearingen. Able to get back on the lead lap. Wayne Hutchinson, I believe, is first car one lap down, so he will be passed by many as we get these guys doubled up once again. Ready to roll here. It's crunch time at Bristol.
I loved your analysis of crunch time because that is exactly what Andrew Schulte thrives in. He thrives in these late race situations.
Big crash in the back. Not so big. The 29 Dan Brasington got turned around, but quick enough and off the track quick enough to not bring out the caution. That looked like it was going to be huge. We'll take a look at that in just a few moments.
Yeah. I am not entirely sure how that didn't go yellow. That was very good from Dan Brasington to get right back turned the correct way, continue on down the racetrack. But as I was saying, Andrew Schulte, he loves these late race situations. You've seen it. We've seen it time and time again here in the WSRL. When those laps get to dropping and the checkered flag inches closer, he is the one who steps up. And it's been the theme for this entire season.
Yeah, he's been Mr. Consistency through and through. We mentioned as many top fives as he's had throughout the course of this season. He's no stranger to see him up front. He's continuing to increase that gap over second place Charlie Widener, and he just put down the fastest lap of the race that last time around. Andrew Schulte giving it everything he's got right now.
And Charlie Widener, who else than him to challenge Andrew Schulte? They are teammates. The top three, they are teammates. They got this order almost exactly last week at Richmond, except you flip Charlie Widener and Andrew Schulte around. But these guys have been dominant for the last couple of rounds of the WSRL.
Yeah, you know, as a team driver, you'd love to see it. But the last thing you want to see is three of your drivers going at it for a race win, just in case something happens here, as we've got 15 laps to go. Not entirely sure what happened there, so he's switching cameras around a little bit.
Michael Milfeld really feeling the pressure from Jeff Schmeier here. Schmeier, who was up 15 position, currently at P4. He is giving Michael Milfeld pressure.
Schmeier quicker than Milfeld by just a couple of hundredths, but that doesn't mean much here at Bristol. You're going to need a little bit more than that to make that pass. But he's going to keep that pressure on as we approach 10 laps to go. These guys for the race lead are getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Brian Patty has come into the pits. Keep an eye on that as this battle for the race lead continues on, along with the battle for third.
Can Michael Milfeld make it a team podium here? And I forget, I'm so bad, I forget the name of their team that they're going with. I cannot remember for the life of me, but I do know they are teammates. It is something that is echoed within the waves of the WSRL pretty regularly here.
Caution is out late here as Chris Samard has a problem. Brian Barnes is caught up in this as well. A big crash here late with less than 10 laps to go. Oh, man. Well, it's not too tough. Not too tough to decipher what happened there. The 05 was in the middle there, clipped the 4, slings him up into the 77. A lot of these guys just with nowhere to go. We'll see as they try to get slowed down, checked up.
Shane Hutchinson, Dennis Saw, and Chad Simpson caught out there. Collected in that. Barry Phil as well, getting a little tap right there. A little bit of damage to his front right.
Now we're getting down into, I don't know what's more intense than crunch time. The red zone, maybe? We're going to have
The
5
red
laps
zone,
to go.
we have the end game, some might call it.
End game, that's the way we should put it back. This is end game. Andrew Schulte holds on to the race lead over Charlie Widener, Michael Milfelt Jr., Jeff Schmeier, and Justin T. Wilkinson. Wilkinson's got 20 lap pressure tires.
Yeah, this is going to be something that you do have to look out for. Unfortunately, though, with how small Bristol is here, I don't know if we're going to be able to see 20 lap pressure tires make that big of a difference, but who knows?
With still no 1 to green signal. Looking at least, at most, I should say, 3 laps to go when we take the green flag. See if we get the lights off on the pace car here. Yes, there it is. We're going to have 3 laps to go, just 1.5 miles to decide the race win. Andrew Schulte takes the bottom, Charlie Widener to his outside. Jeff Schmeier, Michael Milfelt, Justin T. Wilkinson round out your top 5. Mac, what can we expect? Do you have any expectations?
The only expectations I have are for the team of Schulte, Widener, and Milfeld Jr. to stay in the top 3. They got it done last week. They teased at it in the interview after that they could possibly get it done here this week at Bristol. And we are going to see if they can hold on to their word.
The best restart we've seen on the outside, the 95 right up next to the wall, coming up off of turn number 2. Not able to hold on to it. A car length separates these drivers with just about 1 mile to go.
And JTW jumping 2 positions there. He is currently in P3.
Great drive for him. Can he get close enough to the leaders? Get side by side. We've got a lap to find out here at Bristol, and the 95 looks up to the top side, trying to gain momentum. 4 more corners for these drivers to go, and I believe the 95 might have scraped the wall. That might be enough to seal it for Schulte. To the bottom of the racetrack goes Charlie Widener. Not going to be enough, though. On the outside comes Andrew Schulte to win here at Bristol. Charlie Widener second, Justin T. Wilkinson third. Mac, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you are fine, brother man. You are fine, as JTW ruins the back-to-back for the team of Schulte, Widener, and Milfeld, as he is going to claim that last podium spot.
A little bit of rubbing here at the end, some acknowledgement. Not sure if there was contact or if that's just a, hey buddy, you got in our way, and props to you for that. But Schulte's getting ready to burn it down here. So we'll see if these drivers jump in, get ready to rock and rumble here with us for a little bit of post-race action. Drivers going through, giving some love to the race winner. While we watch our race winner burn it down, Mac, I believe you are with our third place finisher, JTW.
JTW, man, Mac up here in the booth. How are you feeling?
I am feeling great. First podium in WSRL, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, it was awesome, and up here in the booth, Liam is here with us tonight, but me and Mike, for the most part, we are, rooting for you. You were the first guy that I adopted a nickname with JTW. So, it's always been just a sentimental value. And, with the cautions out here tonight, did you feel like you had a good chance at getting on the podium because of your short stint pace?
No, I did. Honestly, I'll be really honest with you. I almost didn't run this race because I didn't start practicing until earlier today, actually. So I wasn't feeling good about it. This is not one of my favorite tracks at all. So to get a third place it's like a win to me, to be honest.
Well, you drove well enough for the win. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to settle with the third best position out of everybody here in this talented grid. But you have an off week next week. And then you go to Las Vegas to start the 3-race stint to end the season. How are you feeling with these last 3 races coming up?
You said Las Vegas not next week, the week after. I don't know what the last 2 races are.
Daytona and Phoenix.
Oh, Daytona's always. I don't like super speedway racing, so that's kind of eh. I love Phoenix, so Vegas and Phoenix, I'm looking forward to for sure. I don't know. There's a lot of good guys in this league here, the field. So the competition's always high. You never know where you're going to end up at the end of these races, and I haven't had the best luck lately. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you are right there. The talent of this grid is very, very high, but you did drive it to a P3 here tonight. Who do you have to thank for tonight's performance?
Well, one, FBR Motorsports, all the guys, that we race with. We had a kind of an off week with everybody else. There was some bad luck involved. I think Chad finished 8th and Dan 9th, so that was good to have them in the top 10. But yeah, all those guys. If you don't mind, I'd shout out my business, which is 1023graphics.com. They ride with me on the car as a sponsor, so check them out. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, you drove it well here this week, got the off week, but then, you've got that 3-race stint. So I'm going to let you enjoy your night here tonight. Your P3 placer, I should say, the 19 of JTW.
Oh, can I get one more thing in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Hashtag bug mustard. Don't worry about
it. Oh, man. All right. Your P3,
you guys have a great
JTW.
night.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thank you.
That was our 3rd place finisher, JTW. Not sure what the inside joke there was, but whoever needed to hear it, will hear it. So we'll move on to our 2nd place finisher, Charlie Widener. Charlie, it's Liam and Mac up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you good, loud and clear. Well, you come home 2nd. I know it wasn't where you want to finish, but the first thing I got to ask you is that last restart. You got it on the top side better than anybody else had all night. Was that a little bit of team communication, or you just have him down?
No, it wasn't team communication, but I had a feeling because you switch it up. You go to the middle the first time, you go late in the box the next time. So it was just I kind of got lucky because if I hit it too soon and he wasn't going yet, I have to back off and lose some momentum. But it worked out.
Well, to go a little bit further towards the beginning, I mean, you started in 6th place, you fell back a little bit, but you had to work your way up through some traffic. Talk about running through traffic here at a track like Bristol, where these lines are so different.
It got crazy a few times. Yeah, I'd had. Well, my race went like this. I'd have speed early, and then after 10 or so laps, I'd fall off, and then a little bit later, I'd get a good run and start coming up. But when it comes to the lap traffic, man, I messed up more times than I should have and went low to the bottom to pass somebody, and then there'd be a lap car just road blocking it, and it would, I mean, it's Bristol. There's not a lot of room for three wide, but sometimes you got to make it that way to get around those guys.
Yeah, we saw you with some close moments. I believe you were the one in the back of the six there as Schulte was getting around, but you had yourself a super strong race. You come home in second place. Who do you want to thank for such a strong run here?
Teammates in this race, Schulte and Mike Milfeld. Too bad. I just wish we could have got 1, 2, 3 2 weeks in a row. It was close. Um, just you guys do an amazing job in the broadcast booth. I'd like to thank Bob and everyone involved in getting this league going. So yeah, thanks to everybody.
Awesome stuff, man. We appreciate you, and congratulations once again on a top 2 finish, getting that podium done for the team.
Thank you.
Well, now we've just got our race winner left. Mac, I believe you've got Andrew.
Yes, sir. Andrew Schulte, Mac, and Liam up here in the booth, man. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good about tonight. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, and it was a very fun race to watch. You know, you had pace pretty much the entire night. You know, it's no new story here. You extend your championship lead right now, and was it a strategy going into it that you were going to, run up in front the entire race? Because a lot of times, we see you more toward the middle of the pack and you ascend the grid. This time you just stayed out in front.
Yeah, so I mean it was a topic of debate during the beginning couple minutes of qualifying between Charlie and Mike and I, of whether we were actually going to qualify or not. Didn't really know what to expect. Obviously, practice at any of these short tracks is just cars going left, right, up, down, kind of everywhere. So didn't know really what to expect for the race. And then I just decided, I was like, well, screw it. I guess I'll just qualify just for the pit selection wise, and hopefully I somewhere decent, and I might start from the pit. And we put down a heater, I guess. I was 19th in practice, so I did not expect to be sitting on the pole. And yeah, then once we found our way there, I mean, I dropped back a little bit at the beginning, just trying to save a little bit of tire, and didn't realize how strong the top line was going to roll versus the bottom, but quickly realized that once I was back in like 8th or ninth, and figured that that was not, that plan wasn't going to be the one to work out. So then we just started charging forward, and yeah, once we got to the front, it was the goal to just stay there because you were likely going to be out of the chaos, aside from catching lap cars, which made it actually pretty fun. I was just going back and looking at the replay, somewhere around like lap 35, lap 40, there was just a gaggle of cars, and everyone was shooting every gap they could to get through the lap cars, that was a ton of fun. But yeah, no real strategy, but like I said, once we got to the front, it was all right. Let's just stay here.
Yeah, well, we talked about it last week for a little bit. I teased that could you guys do the 1, 2, 3 finish here at Bristol? You seemed pretty confident. You came oh so close to it. How was that going down to the last caution and, kind of shooting? I'm sure you guys as a team tried to shoot for that 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it wasn't really a plan to. We all just kind of found our way there. Charlie had a lot of speed tonight. If we didn't have that last caution, I think he would have caught me. And obviously catching is one thing, passing's another. But I kept looking in my mirror, and he had a lot of speed up top, and I kept getting a little bit too close to the wall for comfort and not wanting to take out my own chances. So I started moving down, and I guess thankfully that caution came out and kind of saved us there and ate away the rest of the green flag laps. But I mean, he was quick. Mike was quick. Obviously Justin was quick too. He had a hell of a restart there to break up the 1, 2, 3 for us. But yeah, it was yeah, like I said, no plan there, but we just kind of found our way, keeping our fenders clean and just trying to stay out of trouble. Because we all know Bristol. If you getting into one incident, it's likely just going to follow you for the rest of the race, and I think we saw that with a couple people tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But you drove it home P1. You had the best car of the night. Who do you have to thank for tonight's performance?
Shout out to Patented Motorsports, or sorry, Patented Paints, repping the Travis Pastrana lookalike from the Daytona 500. Except I got my own sponsors, Children's Wisconsin and Town Motors on there. Shout out to the Bandit Motorsports teammates, and then Charlie and Mike. It's always a blast racing with them. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Put on a good broadcast. Looking forward to watching it later, and just happy to get I think this is our second win of the season. First one earning it. I think the first win that I had was Watkins Glen, and that was just a fuel strategy call. So glad to break the streak of podium finishes to sitting on the top, because I know we've been up here a lot, and the wins have not been coming around very much this season. But obviously with the points lead, we've been pretty damn consistent. So just happy to be sitting P1 this week.
Yeah, well, you said it perfect, and I'm going to let you go. You deserve it. Go celebrate, have fun, do whatever it is you got to do. Your race winner here at Bristol, Andrew Schulte.
Thank you, sir.
Do it for us here. We'll go through our final race results here. Andrew Schulte gets the job done over Charlie Widener, Justin Wilkinson, Michael Milfelt, Jeff Schmeier, Ryan Steele, Lyle Swearingen, Chad Simpson, Dan Brasington, and Julian Ritchie rounding out our top 10 here tonight.
Yeah, and showing love to the rest of the grid here, we've got from P11 on, it's Dustin Burns, Wayne Hutchison, Dennis Fuson, Ryan Patty, Butch Davis, Brian Barnes, Chris Simard, Wayne Fleet, and Daryl Scott, Chad Stearns, Barry Phil, Earl Weaver, Keith Kelman, Bob Beltrami Salami, James Campbell, David Weaver, Cody Matthews, Scott Kukas, Carl Burke, and Neil Messer and William Fletcher did not take the grid for tonight's race.
Well, some fantastic racing we got to see through and through, with Andrew Schulte coming through to take the checkered flag. Congratulations to him for getting the job done. We do apologize for the audio issues that we've experienced here tonight. Stuff that will be fixed for next week's race. But before we go, just a couple of quick shout outs. I want to say Ken Squire is somebody that a lot of us look up to, and a lot of us wouldn't be in this business if it wasn't for him or people that he inspired. So, as he is in hospice and unfortunately living out his final days, just send some praise to the family, and that, along with Tony Trapasso. We brought him up a little bit earlier on the broadcast, but an amazing friend of ours, and one of the backbones, if not the backbone of sim racing media for a long time. Somebody that we are never going to forget, and we'll always try to keep doing what we do in his memory. So, hate to end it on a heavy note, but as you guys walk through the streets of life, try not to play in traffic. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you.